Hey, there you go. Recording. All right. Ah, so this one, June. In November, Andre received a monthly salary of 2,500 euros. He spent 40% on his rent. So how can I easily on a calculator figure out 40%? Yeah, so zero point 0.4 times 2,500. Yeah, so it's not a mental maths test, yeah. It's just like if you can do 40% in your head, great. If not, you just do that. So that's 1,000. So how much has he spent in total? What does that equate to? Just call it out. 1,300. So how much is left? So my advice to you in any test would be to write down. Yeah. Huh? If I don't edit this video, it's long and boring. Um, Now, I've been doing exam marking last year and this year. I haven't done it before. They're really strict on structure of your work. Yeah. Just because you put the right answer down doesn't necessarily mean you get the marks. Um, and also, you've got to support your working memory. So my advice would be write down money left over. Yeah. Just because it helps yourself. Ignore the person marking it. You can see there are 1,200 euros left over in his budget. Yeah. So the rest of Andre's salary spent on household things. Yeah, 3 to 7 on bills to food. Yeah. So how many parts are there if we're dividing into a 3 to 7 ratio? Just call it out 10. So 10 parts. So 10 parts equals 10 parts equals 1,200. So one part must equal 120. So 7 parts must be 7 times that. Done. Yeah. But I don't think enough of you just do working out to support your working memory. Yeah, because it's very easy to forget what the numbers represent. I just don't think if your life depended on this question, you wouldn't get it wrong. You know, if this was the only question in the test, you just wouldn't get it wrong. You know? So is that one. So write down what you need to. Then we go to the next one. This one was done well, but I'll just quickly do it for completeness. So I'm going to do it this way. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So what we have is 5 plus 2/3 plus 3/4. So then we're going to do that. So we have 5 plus 2 times 4 and 3 times 3 all over 12, which is 5 plus 17 over 12, which becomes 5 plus 1 and 5/12, which is 6 and 5/12 as required. If you did less working than that, but I still gave you all the marks, bear that in mind for next time. Yeah, because I know you know it's a bit different. Yeah, so but just state the obvious for those. Um, Next one. All right. 2 marks on offer here. So this one wasn't done horrifically, but lots of people dropped a mark. So just do it step by step. So you've got 4n squared plus 6n plus n squared. Realise that is positive. And then you've got n times -4. So that is where we would expect the mistake to happen. Yeah, that's the mistake that this question is trying to force. And then take care pairing up your things. Yeah, so why have I put 4 instead of 8? Yeah. So we have 9n squared, and then 6 take away 4. Right. Yeah. And you've got to be ruthless. You've got to be ruthless on the stuff that you know, because it didn't get hard till the Pythagoras question, really. There's plenty of marks up to that point. Yeah. So this one, what I'd like to see is just more working out. You've got 2 times 5 and 3 times -8, which is 10 plus -24. So maybe one person put 14 instead of -14, otherwise people just got it right or wrong. So we get that. Yeah? Happy? Huh? No. Well, did you put 14? I gave you marks. No, it can't be negative. If you put plus 14, you get 1 mark instead of 2. Yeah? Because it'd just be wrong. That's all. So next one, x to the power of 9 divided by x squared. So the rule here is, what do we do to the powers when it's like this? Just call it out. Minus. So we've got x, 9 minus 2, x to the power of 7. So in the next one, D, what are we cubing? In everything. Yeah, everything in the brackets. So we need 4 cubed and y squared cubed. So this rule here is XAB like this. What do we do to the powers in that case? Not you, Theo. Someone else? What do we do? Multiply. Yeah? So we have y 2 times 3, y to the power 6. June, what is 4 cubed? $64. Yeah, 4 times 4, 16, 16 times 4, 64. So this one, we should get 64y to the power 6. Yeah? All right. Next one. We need to add to get -7, multiply to get 12. So factors of 12 are 12 times 1, 6 times 2, 4 times 3. 4 and 3 can be combined to give me 7. What must the signs be to give me -7? Yeah. Yeah, don't acknowledge anyone in the room. You've been sent out from next door. June, turn around. So go on. What will the signs be? Yeah, both negative. If one was a plus, you'd get +1 or -1, and they wouldn't multiply to give you positive. If this number is positive, they must both be the same sign. Yeah? And then if this is negative, they have to both be negative. Yeah? So this page is 11 marks. Let's do this one first. So, what's the opposite of -7? We +7 to both sides. What's the opposite of times in by 5? Yeah, so we get 3.8. Yeah, so look, that was 11 marks. If you didn't go get those marks, it's the easiest way to improve, yeah? All right, so read the next question on the back in a set. Yes. Yeah, kind of just sit down, sit there. Huh? No, you can't. Just wait. Right, next one, because you didn't get 100%, so we hit a point where it's just the way it is, yeah? Right, next one. Sam takes an English exam. There are 2 papers in the exam. Each paper has a maximum mark of 80, yeah? To pass the exam, Sam needs to get at least 60% of the total marks. So straight away, we don't know how many marks Sam needs, yeah? So we need 60% of 80 twice, don't we? So let's first find 60% of 80, which is 0.6 times 80, which is 6 times 8? 40. 6 times 8. 8 sixes? 48. Yeah, so we've got 48 marks. And we need this twice. Sam needs this twice. So 48 times 2 will give us 96 marks. But always put the units in to support yourself. Yeah? Not anyone else. So you remember what's going on. So he gets 55% on paper 1. So paper 1 equals 0.55 times 80. Someone just do it for me, please. 44. So work out the least number of marks that Sam must get in paper 2 to pass English. So Sam needs 96 minus 44. And that's it. If your work does not resemble that, and it just looks like scribble, then you have an issue with exam technique. Yeah? Your paper should be in there. You can do your corrections. Oh, wait, is this paper from the thing? Yeah. So, yes, so if it just looks like scribble, you need to sort out, just get a bit more structured. Because say if you didn't get the final mark, you should have been able to get some of the input marks, yeah? Yes. Just put a star and then I'll deal with it afterwards. Yeah, anything that you think I should have given you some marks, just put a note on it and then come speak to me afterwards, yeah? That's absolutely fine. Right, this one was done well. The trapezium, average length times by the height. So we had 6 plus 13 over 2 times 3. Yeah? So 19 over 2 times 3. What did that give us? So you yawned first. 28.5 meters squared. Yeah, that was done well. If you didn't get it, just jot that down. Sorry, say that again. So everyone got that? Oh, all right. Now, what was good with this question was the working out was pretty good. What was bad was not, I think too many people got it wrong, but not many people got 0 on this. So essentially, to find the mean number of eggs, we need to generate the total number of eggs that all the hens laid, yeah? So we know there's 36 hens, which means the frequency is 36 when we add this up. And we need to find out the number of heads. So number of hens, we do the number of eggs times by the frequency. So we have 0 times 5, 1 times 5, 2 times 3, 3 times 10, 4 times 7, and 5 times 6. So if we add that up, we get 99. Yeah? So that means the mean will be 99 divided by 36. Yeah? And that's it. Try and label the units of things. Yeah? If you're solving a problem, it helps if you understand what the numbers represent. Yeah? In a test, you're going to be nervous, you're going to be anxious. Do things that take that, support yourself. Yeah, if you lose your head. Everyone got that? You can all do this stuff. Later. When it's back, you can go through these with them. Everyone got? All right. Next one. All right. So this is 4 marks. First 2 marks, easy. Second 2 marks, hard. So this is just for zeros. I think you all got that one right. This is 6 times 10 to the minus 5. I think the vast majority of you got that one right. Now, this one, they've done it so you can't use your calculators on this. You essentially need to use your rules of indices. So dividing means this, yeah? So we pair up the parts. So what we have is 4 divided by 1.6 and then this. Someone on your calculator, please. What does 4 divided by 1.6 equal? 2.5. That's nice. And then minus 188. Done. Yeah? That is an acceptable question to get wrong if you can't revise everything. Some of you would have pulled it out, some didn't. But I think those are the first marks I think it was all right to drop. So, whilst people are writing that down, can someone who's finished quickly count up how many marks there were up to this point here? Not counting. How many we got? Someone counted it? 31. Yeah? Was that including C?
Yeah.
So 29. Yes, 31 marks up to this point. It's 29 marks. Yeah? That was roughly a 4. Roughly. That's what I mean. Like the focus for you is always like, oh, well, the harder stuff. Like, you got up to here, you're on a solid start. Solid grade, aren't you? Yeah. Does anyone feel like up to this point anything has been above them? Here you go. So, what's next? Ah, this one was done all right, you know. So 4 marks. This was done well. Very few people got 4 mark, but very few got less than 2. So describe the single transformation that maps A onto B. That's a reflection through the line x equals -1, yeah? So reflection through the line x equals -1. Yeah, that's 2 marks. 1 for reflection, 1 for the line. Next one, scaled factor 2 about the origin. Again, lots of people got 1 mark, but not many got 2 here. You need to put these bits in so you can see the location of the shape. No, don't do it now. Do it at the end. You can see the shapes moved up. Yeah. So you get a mark for having the right shape drawn in the wrong place. And then the second mark is for having it in the right place. Yeah. So draw what you need to. So a lot of you just need the mark, you just need the 4th mark. Yeah.
Somebody went to reflect it there and move it along. I think you just think just to reflect it in one mark. But I don't get
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone need more time on that? Yeah.
There's not. Well, there is.
There is.
It's just not. It's the C.
No, but it's just the diagonal.
Yeah.
So, make sure you've got that down. So that takes us up to 35 marks. All right, next one. So now, this is the point where these are higher only questions. So up to this question, these are questions that also set 3 would have done. Obviously, they had some extra questions before then. So we've got to say 35 marks. At 35 mark point, it becomes outright higher. Yeah? Well, I think this might have been their last question. Probably this was their last question. So this is where it's just practicing things, yeah? Lots of you confuse this with Sokotoa. How do I know this is not Sokotoa? What does this question not involve, Ed? It doesn't have an angle, yeah? It's length only, it's Pythagoras. So Pythagoras' theorem. So then you have to realise you're trying to record information out of your brain. So you filed it in there somewhere. So first name it. That will help it, make it easy to locate it. Then write down what the formula is. Then use the numbers. So we have 12.8 squared equals x squared plus 9.7 squared. How do I move that to the other side? We minus. So I've got x squared equals 12.8 squared minus 9.7 squared. So x is the square root of whatever that is. And so then what do we get? So you've got my calculators. 8.35. Thank you. So we get that.
We're not letting them stop.
I don't know, look, just put a mark and then. So that takes it to 38. Yeah, the 38 marks. And I think you should have got about 30, say 35 up to here. Yeah, but that's it. But the focus, your interpretation of it is different to mine. Your interpretation is, oh, that theory. And mine is, yeah, what about the 100 questions before? Yeah. So when you're correcting yesterday, it won't have been the case, but the thing you should have been focusing on was the first 9 questions. Really. All right, we all got that? All right, next one. Now it's Sokotoa, so this just caused blind panic. I think people realised, actually, I should be getting this. Those that you didn't follow, you've got to realise you're in a stress situation. You need technique to negate the pressure. The first step, label the triangle. Next step, write down Sokotoa. And this is what I wasn't seeing enough of. Then choose which one it is. Which one is it? Then write that down. Because look, this is a 3 marker, so I've got about a couple minutes on this question. I haven't taken a couple of minutes yet. And we've got that. So then we write down what that means. So then what do we press on the calculator? Exactly. So we've got tan inverse of this, which gave, was it 35.9, isn't it? And that's it. What the main take home for a lot of them should be in an exam, your work should be your best presentation. It should be like your notebook without all the colouring in. It's your match, isn't it? Why am I going to train better than I'm going to play in a match? It doesn't make any sense. So there's no point finishing the paper but no one can read what you've done. There is no point finishing the paper and you've rushed it and so certain things are wrong. You're better off answering 80% of the paper well if you ran out of time. You know? Because 80% would have got you a grade, almost a second. Yeah? It would have got you a good grade, wouldn't it? Everyone got that? So, yeah. What do we 4. So that's another 3 marks. Again, I think everyone here would have found that doable. And then this one's a bit hard. Now, this is what you'd expect. It involves stuff you've learned, but it's different. It's an exam. It's got to be different. This is a problem-solving one. So, how do we find the volume of a cylinder? John, ready? Times the height. Yeah? That formula was at the front of the book as well. Yeah, if you go to here, you can see the volume of a prism is there. Volume of a cylinder is there. Pi r squared h. So we've got that bit. Work out the volume. Done. R is 70. H is 18. Yeah. Okay, so this one's hard actually. So 2 marks was very easy on this. Hang on. 4 marks was awkward. So 70 squared times pi times 18. Hardly stop talking. So we've got this. So you've got to get into the habit of writing down the unit and not guessing. So if we look at the question, centimeters, what are the units here? Centimeters what if it's a volume? Cubed. 2 marks to get to here. I think I want to mark this question well. If I gave you less than 2 marks to get into there, put a star on it. If I gave you more than 2, it's up to you what you do with that, isn't it? You can relay or not. So we need to know, relay it to me. So 1 litre is, 1 litre is 1,000 centimetre cubed. So I wouldn't have necessarily told you that, but you might have seen it in physics or something. So write that down, because I've definitely not talked about it too much, if at all. So that means the final volume is this divided by this, which is that, which is this to the nearest litre. And just try and get your work looking like how I've got it here. Just calm, yeah? You shouldn't feel rushed in a maths exam because it's a privilege to run out of time. If you run out of time, it means you could answer every question. You know? And that's it. You've got to just learn how to put the time into where the marks are for you, which is you're still on that learning process, aren't you? So, make sense? All right. The 4 marks and that was difficult. There were 2 difficult marks there. All right, this was then the reading. Everyone here knew what to do. But a lot of you can't read. Kim spends N dollars. That's the total spend. Blah, 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 and the rest on petrol. So we want to find petrol to total. So this is 25% quick maths. 40 plus 25 is 65%. So what percentage is on petrol? 35%. Yeah? So the common mistake is you put 35 to 65. What was the total spend as a percentage? 100, isn't it? The 100. And that was it. It was just reading. Yes, that becomes 35 to 100, which is divisible by 5. So we get 7 to 20, not 7 to 13 that a lot of people put. Yeah? Again, that's one that got a lot of people. It's just, that's normal. Yeah, nothing to beat yourself over. Just think, all right, read it a bit more carefully. Some questions just trip people up. Yeah, that's one of them. Well done if it didn't trip you up. If you did, then just think, well, next time, hopefully it won't. This one was generally done well. A few people got it wrong, so I'll do it. 12 times 100. 4 times 3, circle the prime, 2 times 2. 25 times 4, 5, 5, 2, 2. So the final answer is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5, 5. 2 to our 4 times 3 times 5 squared. Yeah. Commas? Yeah, oh, you should have put times really, but you know, because there's some people put add. So missing that out probably should lose a mark, but it is what it is. We didn't get anyone who got the right numbers and put pluses or commas, so don't worry about it. Make sense? Again, that was doable.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Yeah, just really down.
All right. This is just problem solving. Yeah. The mean is 12. If the mean, Ned, of 5 numbers is 12, yeah, what must they all add up to? Ned. If the mean of 5 numbers, there's 5 strikers, yeah? 60, yeah? 5 times, just 5 times 12. So they must all add up to 60. Yeah, so if we simplify this, what is that? 22, 20, 43. So x plus 43 equals 60, x is 17. Yes, so that is the key thing. If you didn't realise that, you wouldn't have got any marks, yeah? Make sense? So out of interest, how many marks was it up to 14? Up to 14, how many was it? 3, 6, 10, 14, 17, 20, 24, 28, 31, 33, 37, 48, 51, 55. 55. 55 up to here. You know, before we get to this one, which is reading, before we get to this one that you hadn't been taught, before we get to that one, what was hard? That one was hard. That one was hard. That one was hard. 55 marks. Did I say 55?
Yeah.
So it's a good point to pick it up there. So now this would be the point. Oh, that's harder to correct, yeah? I will keep your papers just in case someone doesn't bring them back Monday. Yeah? We're finishing going through that. And does anyone want a retest next time? Who wants another go? Nothing but other than personal pride.
Same question.
That's similar. I'll change the number. We could do that. Who would want the same paper with the same questions? No, not next lesson. In a lesson, yeah. No, but it'll change like the view on you. If you get a bomb out again after someone goes through it with you and you revise, then you can decide, isn't it? But yes. All right, perfect. We'll probably do this later in the week next week. So can you pack up, hand your papers to me, please, just more because you talk about it back. Just if someone hasn't got them with them on Monday, it'll be irritating. Huh?
I got sat there.
Huh?
I sat there. I won't discuss it. I'll come to work again.
I've chosen how you
You're gonna read it, and that's going to show. No, what? I will. The thing is, though, I'm so used to it now, I don't really go down. I'll see what you want. I don't. So I'm contacted, I want to. That's it. So I'm saving them. For like sports thing on that.
All right, we've just got rid of them. So let's finish this off. Just making sure I've shared my calculator as well. Share. All right. This one is easy. So the key bit here is it says exactly one of each. So everyone either studies French, German, Italian, Spanish. And finally, in the final part, we're going to express the percentages of students studying Italian or Spanish out of those studying French or German. So we have 15 studying French. We have German is 45% of 180. And then everything left is Italian or Spanish. Yeah. So 45% of 180. We do 180 times 0.45, which is 81. Which means French or German is 81 plus 15, which is 96. So Italian or Spanish must be 180 minus 96, which is 84. 180 minus 94 is 84. The final bit we need to do is 84 divided by 96 times by 100. So 84 divided by 96 times by 100. So 87.5%. Done. Right. It looked way worse than it was. 4 marks for that. Yeah, so going to have a mark for this, a mark for this, a mark for trying to do this correct ratio, and then a mark for the final answer. This one. A and B, what do A and B have in common? So we want multiples of 3. This is the set of everything. Yeah. Those that are multiples of 3 will be A. So set A will be 9, 12, 15, 18. Set B is the odd numbers, which is 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. So A and B is what they have in common, 9 and 15. A union B means A or B or both. A or B or both. So that is 9, 11, 12, 13, 15. 17, 18, 19. Done. Is it true that 24 is an element of A? Does A have a 24 in it? No. The answer is no, it's not true. We would just say no, give a reason, 24 is not in A. That's it. The biggest number in the whole sequence of numbers is 20. Now, set C has four numbers. Set C has four numbers such that C and B is 10 and 18. So if we look at what B was, B was the odd numbers, yeah? So B is 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. So we've got choice on this. So we want to find four members, possible members, given that C has four members in it. It can't be anything else that is in B. So it can be any of these numbers other than what's in B. So it can't be that, it can't be that, it can't be that, it can't be that, that, or that. This question does not tell us about A, what it has in common with A. So it can be any of those numbers that are left. Any two of those numbers. Yeah, not 10 though, because that's already been written down. And 18's already been written down. Be two of those three. That's it. Does it give us any more information on C? C has four members. We list the members of a possible set. So we could have put 12, 20, or 14 in there. Number 17. Calculate the area. This area is 36, which means this times this is 36. 6 times 6 is 36. We're told it's a square, so that must be 6, 6, 6, 6. So that means the radius of the semicircle is 3. So the area of the circle is pi r squared. So I have 3 squared times pi, which is 9 pi. So I have 4 semicircles. 4 semicircles is equal to 2 circles, isn't it? So the area will be 2 times 9 pi, which is 18 pi. So the total area, therefore, total area is 36 plus 18 pi. It asks for this to one decimal place, so I need to then figure that out. 36 plus 18 pi, 92.5. Done. Centimeters squared. Lovely jubbly. 4 marks. Like this one. 3 rules. Exterior sum is 360. An interior plus exterior equals 180. And the interior sum is n minus 2 times 180. So this exterior angle here must be 360 divided by 5, which is 72. Therefore, this must be 180 minus 72, which is 108. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, has 6 sides. So the exterior must be 360 divided by 6, which is 60. So the interior is 180 minus 60, which is 120. So we have 108 here and 120 here. So 360 minus 108 plus 120 is 360 minus 228. Yeah. Which gives me 132. Well, it tells us that it tells us that it's isosceles, isn't it? Just gonna get the question to check I haven't missed any information. I'm assuming this triangle is isosceles. Just want to check if I haven't missed out anything. Yeah, well, that is isosceles. Sorry, it didn't tell us this, but look, these are the same length there, aren't they? They're touching, which means these two, because they're regular, it means all the sides are the same length. So these must also be the same. So it didn't tell us, but there's enough information there for us to see that is isosceles. And therefore, 2x plus 132 must equal 180. So 2x must equal 180 minus 132, which is 48. So x must be 24. Yeah. Next, that's 5 marks. Write down the highest common factor of P and Q. Then diagram time. So 3 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5 times 7. And we have 3 times 3 times 5 times 7 times 7. What they have in common? A 3, a 3, a 5, and a 7. So 3 squared times 5 times 7. 1 mark. Work out the value of P cubed times Q. Well, this is P. So P cubed must be that cubed, which will be 3 to the power of 9, 5 to the power of 6, and 7 cubed. And then we're going to times that by Q, which is 3 squared times 5 times 7 squared. So that means we will get 3, 9 plus 2, 5, 6 plus 1, and 7, 3 plus 2. Yeah, so that would be the final answer. So when we cubed it, we had to multiply the powers because then it's like this. And then when we times it here, we had to add the powers because then it's of the form like this. All right, next one, last page. So triple brackets, let's expand a pair first. So that will give us 3x squared plus x plus 6x plus 2. So 3x squared plus 7x plus 2. And then we're timesing by 3x minus 1. So times everything by 3. 9x cubed plus 21x squared plus 6x, and times everything by -1, which gives us this, and then we put it all together. We've got 9x cubed plus 20x squared minus x minus 2. Job done. Last one, indices. The minus means we reverse the fraction. So 2x to the 5 over 8xy will become 8xy. Now that 8x to the power of y, I think it's meant to be written like this. I think that was a typo. So we get that. Well, we can simplify what's in the bracket. We have a 4y over x to the power 4. Now we square everything. It's 16y squared over x, 4 times 2. Done. Right, hope that's been useful. See you soon.